This is the storyteller with another hot topic: complacency. Has God ever said anything to you, giving you a word or direction, something that He wants you to do or head towards? We often pray for things to be revealed to us, and then when they are revealed to us, we don't like the revealing. We don't like when God takes the covers off of a thing, especially when it comes to our abilities, our actions, the things that we do, the things that we say, and the things that we want, and the things that we want done. This is why we have so many non-believers and we have so many leaving the faith, because in essence, we do not like to be told what to do. And when we say to God, if you can use anyone, you can use me, but just don't use me yet, that keeps a turned cheek from God, because we know He's there. We just don't want to hear from Him, because we know that He's going to want to change some things so that He can be 100% involved. So it's easier for us to just ignore Him or just don't give in to Him 100%, but only call on Him when we need something. Here's a new word: humanistic. How humanistic of us. Blessed are the ones that hear and take heed to what God is saying to us today so that change can take place. Complacency is the topic today. The competition will never change. This warfare that we are in, this spiritual warfare, will never ever change. We can adapt to it. We can go stronger in it. We can grow stronger in it. However, we can do nothing. Beside God, we can do nothing. And unless He changes our complacent behavior, unless we recognize it as being an issue, that we are a complacent people, then we will continue to operate in a dysfunctional spiritual sphere that we've created all on our own. No, the sphere is not dysfunctional. We are the ones that throw play in the game. God's not going to allow that. So in essence, when we are not moved towards bringing good to our spiritual sphere, then we are stifled in our growth to move closer to things that belong to God on this earth and in the spiritual sphere. We're deprived. That's when the dysfunction kicks in. And I'm going to tell you something. I know a little bit about it because you are listening to a complacent person. And if I'm the only one, then y'all please, in the name of Jesus, pray for me, because I've got some issues and I've got some serious deep problems and the struggle is real. What is an example of complacency? A feeling of calm, satisfaction with my abilities or situation that prevents me from trying harder, especially when I've been told no, or I've been rejected, or I've been hurt in some religious sphere or circle. Church hurt, anybody? Because after so much hurt, we just really, we give up, especially in the church. We give up because we say, why? What's the point? All churches are like this. And it may be because so many are operating in complacency. What I have learned about this spirit of complacency is that it gives you great comfort in being right all the time. And it has a problem for every solution, an excuse as to why I am right and you are wrong. What annoys me about complacency, I seem to have no desire to expand my horizons, especially when it comes to kingdom living, the things of God, and the vision that He's given me. Comfortable doing everything my way. There's no room for complacency if we want to stay in this competition. And I'm going to tell you something right now about our adversaries. They do not mind us entertaining the spirit of complacency, because it keeps us out of the way. It keeps us in a cubicle. It keeps us isolated and disconnected. What is an example of complacent behavior? Well, for me, listen to this podcast. I mean, I'm not mad about it. I'm not ashamed about it. But, these are things that the Lord has pointed out to me in my inconsistencies. And it's up to me to say to God, Lord, help me with my inconsistencies and my complacent behavior. Show me, change me, help me, and mold me into what you want me to be, so that I don't be an offense and a stumbling block to myself and to my brothers and sisters. And there are no real signs about whether you're complacent or not, because we're so comfortable in what we're doing that we're right, one, and two, we don't want anyone to venture into our world. We become uncomfortable being comfortable. So much so that is frustrating. And for us believers, we want to know why. And it's only then when we become frustrated and stagnant in our day-to-day living and circumstances that we say, oops, something must be wrong. And many will not even call on God then. They go seek counseling, religious counseling, go to the pastor or try to set up an appointment with sister such and such that lives on Holy Boulevard, and looking for others to give us confirmation that we're right even in our frustration. I'm here to say that when you get in a position like that, the only one that you need to go to is God himself and simply ask him, what's going on? Why do I feel this way? You have to ask God. God is a gentleman. He's not going to pound you. You ask him and he'll tell you, just like he told me. You're complacent, Regina. You've become complacent in your actions, in your behavior. I immediately did research on that word because my definition was totally different than the actual definition, of course. Signs of complacency at work: disengagement, lack of investment in yourself or others, loss of compassion for your work, disinterest in other opportunities or promotions. What is a complacent mindset? I had become overly content, a junk food eating couch potato, feeling complacent about my health. The literal meaning of this word's Latin root is very pleased with myself, achievements, and abilities, never reaching the maximum, mind you. Content with the minimum because it's safe. Not much hurt in minimum. But even though complacent people like myself may seem pleased with me, I am rarely pleased with others, which makes me judgmental too. These are things that Jesus himself said to me. If Jesus has ever said that to you, that you are complacent, it's not a compliment. It's to awaken us that it's time for change and deeper commitment for growth and expansion. With myself, achievements, and abilities, never reaching the maximum, mind you. Content with the minimum because it's safe. Not much hurt in minimum. I vow to not allow complacency to direct and govern my abilities anymore. Yeah, this is one of those times when you ask God something and he answers. It's plain, it's specific. You don't have to wonder, what you mean, Lord? I don't have to eat a whole cow to realize I'm eating beef. He was very frank, and as a matter of fact, when he said it, and when he says it, it must be true. And that is the only thing, that was my response, outside of crying and feeling wounded and sorry for myself and just pathetic. All I could say was, well, Lord, if you say it, it must be true. Help me. I don't want to be complacent. I do not want to be an arrogant person. I do not want to be fixed in my own ways, and I do not want to die like this. I want to be some earthly good for your glory. And please forgive me for thinking that I have any kind of glory to extend to anyone. Please teach me how to operate in grace, and please teach me how to operate in mercy. I'm sharing this with as many as hear this podcast, that the spirit of complacency has bedded itself beside you, has made his way into your home. It's time to evict the spirit of complacency. Driven to become good, driven to become better, driven to obtain God's best for my life, that I may be an impact for Jesus Christ, to operate in and through me. What matters is the expansion in Jesus. Living on purpose is essential for all believers. No room for complacency. Think about it. And there's a difference between being content and being complacent. Remember this: when dead circumstances attaches themselves to us, they drain the life out of our living circumstances. We are then forced to join their dead circumstances that are now feeding off of our living circumstances. Don't allow others' bad circumstances to overtake us. Each of us have a portion. Maintaining that portion is up to each of us. There are sources of contact for each and every one of us if we tap into the main source first, which is Jesus Christ. Think about it. If you are one of those people that are complacent, you may not know it, but after hearing this podcast, you might consider that you are a complacent person and you want to change. Consideration is the first step to understanding. This is the storyteller with another hot topic. Subscribe. to keep up to date.